Hmm. Let me go and hit y'all with that one too.
Not talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
Cause I'm not talking. Not unless y'all giving me likes. And 2,000 or more. 2,000 or more subscribers every week until we hit 100K. You hear me? Okay then. Listen, I know I said I was going live at like 10:15, but see, you just gotta wait around. You know what I'm saying? Because if you stay ready, you ain't never gotta get ready. You know what I'm saying? Because we here. We're here. All right. And we're here to talk about basketball wives. I know I have been slipping on my pimping when it comes to doing the reviews for basketball wives. And that's because Love Island was just so crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it was a great break away from the typical reality TV. So I love that. That's kind of why I'm also reviewing Big Brother. So if you guys, watch Big Brother, you're into that, definitely check out the reviews and things. We will be talking about it. You know what I'm saying? But can somebody give me the schedule of the live feeds? Because I be off. I be trying to catch up and stuff, but let me know. I need to know that, okay? Because I be trying to get the tea up off the live feeds, okay? Because I don't know if Keanu's still in the house or not. But anyway, y'all listen. That's not what this is about, okay? Big Brother people, hit me up. And yes, let me also get this out the way. I have been getting so many body cams in my DMs. Listen, I got y'all, okay? Somebody, and matter of fact, I gotta say that tweet because somebody sent me one on Twitter. Okay, y'all be hitting me up on TikTok, and I love it. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we are going to get back to that as well. Okay, so just let me, let me, girl, Blue Ivy, honey, give me a sec, girl. I'm gonna get back in there. Okay, I just need a second. I was gonna get right back, but we here to talk about basketball wives, all right? And I did take some notes. I'm gonna be honest. I got some notes. I got some videos and things, and because I missed some episodes and I needed to go back and I kind of like check some stuff out. And I do want to put a disclaimer out there for anybody prepared to watch the video so that you can make a decision ahead of time on whether you want to continue to watch, whether you want to dislike, girl, like, do whatever it is that you choose to do. This video will not be going well for Chantel Christie. Again, this video will not be going well for Chantel Christie. I will say this. A lot of people like to say, you won't understand unless you have a toxic mom. I do not have to have a toxic mother to understand what is happening here. That's number one. That's to me similar to how some of y'all don't like to hear people telling you that you can't have an opinion or you can't say anything because you don't have children. Okay? So there's that. I have not had a toxic mother in my personal. I am not a toxic mother in my personal, okay? Now that young one might give me a run for my money the way he be over here cutting up just a little bit. He only 1.5, like give it a second, girl. But anywho, um, yeah, I think a lot of times people feel like when you may see, we'll talk about Jackie, right? Because that's the conversation. When you see Jackie's point of view, or you understand Jackie, they would like to equate you. Oftentimes we do that, right? Oh, if you agree or you see that person's side and I'm willing to believe that you just like that person, right? Not necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily. I am a person that do not feel like I don't always respect the hierarchy of things, right? Because I feel like people are human regardless, right? I understand that's your mother, but I also feel like because that's your mother, they don't get to disrespect you, right? I've had conversations with my son when he was younger and coming up because I wanted to make sure we have open communication. I don't consider myself a toxic parent. If there's something that I may have done that made him feel uncomfortable, I will acknowledge it, also apologize for it. You feel what I'm saying? I want to be able to teach him how to go on to be a better parent as well. So when I'm coming up against Jackie, I'm not one of them folks y'all talking about, and not y'all, but y'all. that is oh, you must be a toxic person, or you must be just, or you had a no, bitch. My parents is not like her. Okay. All right. Um, so there's that. But I do believe that there is not a perfect parent. I will say that there is no perfect parent. Even the most perfect of parents, right? Showing up at the games, always being supportive, always keeping the doors open for the kids to have a conversation, never closing your door on your child, whatever it is, it's always something that one could have done better, right? In parenting and just as a human in general, okay? The first thing I want us to get into before we really get into some of the episodes is a message that popped up on Chantel's story. Okay. So I want us to get into that first. So let me slide over here because she did put a statement out. All right. Shout out to the people here. If you see the poll, definitely leave your thoughts on the poll. And also, if you're in the video, you haven't had a chance because you was rushing over here so quick that you forgot to hit the like button, definitely go ahead and do that for me as well. And if you're new to the channel, also be sure to subscribe. Okay. So the first thing is, let me hop over here and see if we got the right screen up for you guys. Okay. So this is a post. It's actually two long posts that came from Chantel, and I kind of want to start this interview, not interview, but I want to start this video off with this, okay? And then we'll get into the episode. So she says, "I'll start by saying, if you've never dealt with a toxic mother, then you truly have no idea what it feels like." Okay, I disagree. For me, okay, I do disagree. As painful as it's been to watch these moments of my life play out on TV, I know my youngest self is proud of the woman who finally stood up for herself. Okay. The truth is, this dynamic is rare. It happens in more families than we'd like to admit. What dynamic are you speaking of? The dynamic where you come onto your mother's show and put it out there for the world to see? Is that the part that you're talking about? Because I don't think that is rare at all. There are a lot of moms that are negative as hell towards their daughters. There are a lot. You know what I'm saying? Um, Jealous of their daughters. Yeah, it's a lot. Very harmful. We see parents wanting to, when we watch body cam, the mistreatment of some moms and how they are with their kids, especially when, maybe they want to try and sell them for a little something. You know what I'm saying? Want to show that's why they got the kids in the car. You're like, I don't think it's rare at all in my personal. I think it may be rare for one to experience a toxic mother and then decide to come on that very show. I understand a lot of people may feel like, well, she's been on the show, not in the same capacity, right? Chantel has been on the show previously in the same capacity in which Evelyn Lozada has allowed her daughter to be on the show. So now you're entering the show as like a main cast member. And I feel like that's different because now you're making a decision to actively and consistently be around your mom for filming purposes, right? And to get your check and stuff, so get your money. But I feel like it's a bit different too at the same time. Now, she says narcissism, jealousy, lies, lack of accountability, gaslighting, abuse, hiding, assault, etc. We're just taught to keep it in house and suffer in silence. I choose to break that cycle. Okay. So, these are all of the things I do agree that are of a toxic mother. I do feel like, when we were younger coming up, yes, that was something that was primarily told to keep in the private, right? But I feel like as people get older, that's not always the case. Yes, it may still be for some families, but now the narrative to me with a lot of kids now is to run to social media and expose their family, you know. But anywho, she said she chose to break the cycle. And I guess breaking the cycle was her not keeping it silent, but exposing it. Okay. I guess. Because I feel like at the same time we still didn't get anywhere, so I am a little confused on what did we like. You didn't come and really tell us nothing that we didn't already know about Jackie from your sister, and from what you said plenty of seasons ago, when you were like a child or early adult or whatever the case is. So I'm just a little confused on that part. She says, what you witnessed was a masterclass in narcissism, someone lighting the fire behind the scenes, then walking away so you could look like the arsonist. Now, I have to say, it's a lot that I just don't agree with Chantel with on this. What you witnessed is a masterclass in narcissism. What I witnessed was your mom also wanting to have conversations with you, but when you would start the conversation with her, it would never be about the real issue at hand because you want to talk about other people. So, and then you would get disrespectful. So it's like, let me just get up. Cause it's really giving Cordell, Diane, you ain't even much had let me talk. So she's getting up to avoid a bigger blow up situation. She says, and that's another thing too. I do feel like not all, but some people have given their opinions on the clip and things that they've seen, but haven't really watched the show, right? To see what the real issue really is not so much as the childhood stuff, right? In my personal, right? But we'll get into that. So she says, I know what really happened on and off camera all season long. So no, the internet cannot bully me into submission. Y'all know the TV character. I know the mother, right? Definitely agree. But I also feel like we don't just know her at the TV character. We also know the mother because y'all have come out and talked about her as a mom before. So we have an idea. Now, we haven't experienced her in the same capacity in which you have, like, yeah, duh, but we are aware. And who is the people trying to bully her into submission? What y'all trying to bully her into submission about? Hmm? So she says, she touched my arm. I pushed her. Let me go back. I'm sorry, y'all, because I don't even want to show this on the thing because I got to see something real quick. Matter of fact, let me do it. Fact with a K, child. Let me do this on my phone because I feel like I can go faster over here so I can see something real quick. I'm just replaying. Gosh darn it. Is that where we were? Lady didn't touch you. Lady didn't touch you, ma'am. Ma'am. Lady was walking past, ma'am. Ma'am. Lady didn't touch you. And here's the other thing because people, will focus on just that portion. We're going to get into it. Just know she told her to leave her room. Let's get back. Okay, let us get back for a second. All right. Now, so she says she touched my arm. I pushed her off of me. She swung, plain and simple. It's unfortunate the things played out this way, and I wish it never happened. But if you knew our history, then you know this was a long time coming. Okay, that's what she says. And when you have that dynamic of toxicity within the mother daughter relationship, I'm sure at some point it's a long time coming. Now you have some people that are going to put their hands on their mom. You're going to have some people that want to put their hands on their mother, but never would they ever think. Okay, never would they. Well, I'm sorry, they would think, but never would they ever act. You see what I'm saying, child? There may have been times that I probably wanted to hit my mama back, but I knew I'd get folded up. Okay, so period. Okay. However, it is what it is. Let's keep going. Um, so Chantel says, I may not be proud of all my choices this season, but I'm also not ashamed. This is my real life, and I doubt anyone judging me lives a perfect one. I agree. Nobody judging you lives a perfect one. And I also will say that this was your real life before you came onto the show. So if you know that the relationship between you and your mom are that traumatic, and knowing her experience that she's had on this show, why would you then come onto this show? In my personal, and don't care how anyone feels about that, why would you then come onto this show and risk the relationship being harmed or fractured even further than what it is already or what it has been, right? Because that's always been your real life. And when you bring your real life like that to the cameras, you do allow individuals in that have so much of a say to the point where you feel like they're trying to bully you into submission, right? And I don't think that this was a place for TV. I do understand Jackie walking away multiple times throughout the season because she was trying to avoid you guys being the topic of conversation, as they have made her topic of conversation and her mothering in the past, right? I mean, it got to a point so much so that you guys as a cast, Shaunie, you allowed them to escape their own storylines to focus solely on Jackie and her daughter. I don't think that was cool. I think Jackie may have signed up for her daughter to be on this show because maybe her daughter wanted to enter that lane and that world of entertainment and stuff, right? Especially with her trying to get her daughter on TV, and her baby daddy said, eh, not on my watch, okay? Although she did win in the courts, from my understanding, it appears. Well, I do know that she's able to move and relocate, but not sure if they're going to allow her to be on TV. I think it's a yes or no. I'm not sure. I thought it was a yes, but maybe not. But I know for a fact she's allowed to move, right? Um, and you also getting your son into modeling, right? So maybe Jackie wanted to extend the platform to you for those reasonings of some fortune. I don't think that Jackie ever thought about you and her, both of you guys, experiencing such a situation in front of everybody. Matter of fact, Jackie actually, in my personal, for the people that haven't been watching the show, she didn't want this to happen so bad that she literally was teetering on her tippy toes, right? On not overstepping boundaries according to what her daughter said. Because the moment Jackie and her daughter got on this show together this season, Chantel has been annoyed at everything Jackie does. You invite your mom to a photo shoot. She's there. She's like, oh, this is cute. You roll your eyes. Like, oh, she's doing too much. She comes in the house like, hey, where's the baby? He's like, okay, so I'm going to help you. We're going to find you a sitter. Like things that a mother would do. Once they step into the house, they see you got a lot going on. They know you want to shake and move. Okay, cool. We gonna interview the best people to find you a sitter. Da-da-da. Who is we? You wanted to always make it very clear that she don't really got access to your kids. She's not in control. She's not in charge. Whatever the case is. But then at the same time, you wanted her help. So which one is it? And that's what my issue was with Chantel in the beginning. Do you want your mama help or you don't? Do you want her around or you don't? And I refuse to believe we don't know our parents, right? We know what we can say and do to our parents to get them to react a certain way. I know if I talk to my mama and I say this right here, I know she probably gonna cut me out. She ain't gonna yell. She ain't gonna da 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 da. Right? So you knew what you was doing. Shout out to the people in the chat. If you guys have not liked up the video, definitely go ahead and do so at this time. If we could get to 300 likes, that would be great. I'll give you guys a little chance to do that because it's cold in here, y'all. I got this heater on, and when I tell y'all I'm cold, I'm cold. So try let me get this moisture from up under my nose, just a little piece, while y'all go ahead and like the video. Thank you guys. Cause I'm like, I got this heater on, y'all. I'm like, why is I'm still cold like this? Woo, I know y'all be like, Jami, you got you be having sweatshirts, long sleeves on in the summertime. Yes, y'all, I stay cold, I swear. Like I be having a heating blanket and everything, try to be cold. But anywho, so yeah, let's get back to this. So she says, I hate she says, I see the hate mail, I see the judgment. Judgment is what I do think we can give. You're on a reality show, a lot of us are going to have opinions. I will always draw the line at hate mail, especially after watching Love Island USA. If a person's life and situation does not align with you, there is no need to go to that person's page or anything and put out threats saying certain stuff to them. Oh, I hope you this and that, and saying all that type of stuff. Like, it's just draw the line at leaving your comments under a page that probably dropped the video or whatever the case. But y'all ain't gotta send like, and I'm not talking to y'all when I say y'all, okay? But people don't have to leave their unnecessary messages, okay, that may not be uplifting in people's boxes. You know what I'm saying? Like, just draw, because honestly, at the same time, we don't know these people for real. We know what's being shown to us and what's being told to us. Okay. So, and shown to us. So, like, yeah, let's not. Okay, let's not do that. So she says, I see the judgment, but I also see all of the messages that say, I've dealt with this too. This reminds me so much of my situation. Okay. And again, guys, for me, ooh, baby, I think I do need a little piece of iron. Don't be over here calling me out like that. Okay. But it was something else I was gonna say about that when she said this situation reminds me so much. I'm sorry, this reminds me so much of my situation, and they've said I dealt with it too. Um, it was something else that I wanted to mention about that. I see the hate mail, I see the judgment, but I also see all the messages that say I've dealt with this too. This reminds me so much of um my situation. It'll come back to me. So she says, to those of you with heart and understanding, I see you and I appreciate your vulnerability. To those of you who've met me with threats, why are y'all threatening her? We don't have to like what she doing, but there is absolutely no need to be giving her threats at all. She says, vow statements and extreme judgment. May you never understand my plight. Celebrating my darkest moment says more about you than it ever will about me. Okay. Let me go back to when she says this reminds me so much of my situation. But see, here's the thing for me. Chantel, for me, as I watched the season, the issue wasn't about how your mother showed up in your childhood. The issue was really about you feeling as though this is what all of this is about, guys. Okay. The issue Chantel has with Jackie is because she felt like Jackie did not stand up against Brandi for her. That is why Chantel is mad. Brandi referred to Chantel as a child. Jackie did, I'm sorry, Chantel did not like that she said that. And she also did not like that her mom was continuing to hang around Brandi. She did not like that her mom decided to bring the girls together for whatever that Las Vegas dinner was because Brandi had a lot going on. So Chantel, I guess, felt triggered. And that's where she tried to connect it back to her childhood. But even when she would speak on her childhood, she wouldn't say directly how that situation or what it like triggered her to. She would just talk about how she was supposed to be perfect. What does that have to do with your mom wanting to do something for Brandi? Because Brandi got a lot going on. And here's the other thing that a lot of people that may not have watched the show noticed. Jackie actually checked Brandi. When Brandi said, call her daughter a child, Jackie didn't do the most. You know why? Because there were boundaries in place, and Chantel told Jackie not to do too much. Jackie was going to allow Chantel to handle her own beefs, do your thing, right? So that's what this is really all about. Jackie actually defended her daughter in a moment and told Brandi, that's not her name. She has a name. Do not refer to my daughter as a child. Call her by her name. Her name is Chantel. So, what is this not having my back situation that you speak of when that's what your mama did? And how Jackie operated while on the show earlier in the season, on the episodes, what it showed to me is that her and Shaunie have worked through their issues. Now, granted, just because a person worked through things doesn't mean there may still some unresolved residue. Similar to Shamia, right? How Shamia got her over there on Real Housewives of Atlanta, acting like she was cool on stuff, knowing it was still bothering her or whatever. But all in all, Chantel and Jackie worked through their issues. So much so that Jackie went into the season with the expectation of having her daughter's back. And one of the ways to do that is also not overstepping her boundaries, not getting in the mix of what she has going on with somebody else. If she tells me she needs me, I'm gonna jump in or whatever the case, right? So that this is where all of this is coming from. Okay. Just a little piece. Now, let's keep going because she says, I've always been misunderstood. Now, I know people going to try and get on her head top because you guys may be reflecting back to her sister Takari. Like, oh, you the one that's been misunderstood? We can't tell because it seemed like Takari was the one that was misunderstood. I don't know. I don't know what all she endured as well, but that's what, she says she's always been misunderstood. And this chapter of my life is no different, but I will answer to God, not imperfect strangers who've never walked a step in my shoes. Okay. She says, I will keep my head up and my peace in focus as I continue to grow as a mother, a wife, and a woman. All right. So that is all that Miss Chantel had to say over on her page today. And keep in mind that post came after Ming Lee came out and gave an apology to Jackie Christie. Okay. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. Now, let me hop over here, going back a few episodes, and I just want to highlight some things that I saw on the show, and it'll kind of lead up to the moment that happened last night with, or the other night with these ladies, getting into it. All right. So Chantel seemed to be happy to hear that Ming and Jackie got into it at Brandi's event, right? And that was primarily because at that event, Ming Lee wants to force a conversation with Jackie and her daughter. And Jackie is trying to get her to understand, I do not mind talking to my daughter. But what I'm not going to do is talk to my daughter amongst a group and allow you guys to take bits and pieces from our conversation in an effort to use it against me or her. That's what I'm not going to do. So I would prefer to talk to my daughter on some solo stuff, right? Now, this is also a time where Denise said that Evelyn was fishing for information by calling her and whoever else trying to get information and tea on Chantel and Jackie. And I did believe that, okay? When that happened, I definitely believe that's what Evelyn does. Like at some point in the episode before last, Evelyn said, or maybe it was this episode. I think it was this week's episode when Evelyn was like, how is it? You don't even care about your daughter. You don't even care about your daughter. How is it that I'm over here more emotional and I'm waking up at night and I'm crying about your fucking daughter? Because that's your fucking personal. That's your personal. You don't get to tell you don't know how that lady care about her daughter. And you don't know if she's at home and she's crying as well over what happened with her daughter. We only know what you got going on and you crying over somebody else's child and situation because you're telling us. But the moment somebody says something about your dear sweet Shanice, it's going to be a problem. No, ma'am. Jackie is a good one because I would have been on Evelyn's ass every chance I got. I wouldn't have held on to nothing that I know about you and yours. I would have let the floodgates open because you're going to learn on this day. On this day, we will be learning things. What you give, I can give too. Be ready for that. Now you got to go and have a talk with your child. Excuse me? But what it really is that Evelyn is still bothered by some things Jackie did last season, child. All right, trying to do this whole investigation and trying to see if Jackie was over here doing some prostitution or whatever, and Jackie sat up there and called her a hoe or a super hoe. Okay? Because I think Evelyn called her a whore or something like that, and I think Jackie said, "Nah, you a super whore." And I said, "I know that's right," because Jackie been over here married to this man for many a years. Now, as for you, we've connected the dots with you. Okay, it's giving the hip bone connected to this bone, and then that bone's connected to that bone. Like you have a lot of bones. Okay, don't do that. Let's keep going. So Chantel has a flashback, and so Chantel, yeah, in a flashback says, "What's your issue, Evelyn?" Asking Denise about me, and I said that I believe Denise, even though Evelyn lied and said that that's not what happened. Now, what else did I know? I said, Denise, why are you tripping when you went over? Oh, not Denise. Yes, that's another thing. Okay, so this is where I have to clock Chantel again. Chantel's like, Evelyn, like, what's your issue? Like, what's your issue with me that you're over here trying to dig up information on me and my mama or whatever through Denise? Well, I don't know, Shaunie. What's your issue for you to go over to Evelyn's house, sit with Evelyn and her daughter with your son and discuss information about your mama? You and your mama. You willingly gave information up to Evelyn. So honestly, Evelyn about doing what she typically does because you've been willingly giving her information anyway. That's what you've been doing. And now that she's trying to check on it or whatever, and likely about doing the same thing that she always do. Hey, have you talked to this person? Do you know if she's talked to Jackie? Asking. Now y'all trying to make it an issue. But see, Denise, you a problem for me, bitch. And I need you off this show. See, when you was on Big Baller Brand, The Ball in the Family, I liked you. You really didn't have too much to say. You really just fell in the cut. But this time, you definitely fell into the cut of following behind BITs. And I also feel like you, in a subtle way, on some Ashley Darby type of stuff, contributed to amplifying the drama between Chantel and her mama. When Jackie says that she felt as though her daughter was being manipulated by people to bring forth whatever, you went back and kind of relayed the message differently, saying she was impressionable and all this other stuff. So now Chantel is amped up. And she coming to the table with an attitude. So who said that I was impressionable? Jackie. Like, you want to do this thing so bad in front of other people with your mama. And that's what's crazy. But then try to play it out like, oh, she keeps leaving. She don't want to have a conversation. Your mama told you on more than one occasion that she don't mind having a conversation with you. She just wasn't finna do it in front of everybody. But then you like, oh, the disrespect happened in front of everybody. Technically, it didn't. You made it a thing. And let me say this. With whatever happened, it wasn't on Jackie. You made this a thing in front of other folks because you had been irritated with your mama since you got on this show. I'm not going on a show with a person that irritates the shit out of me. And that's toxic as hell, which is my mom. And that situation that you made so much of a big deal, and the whole time none of this should have happened when your mama actually had your back. Your mama sat at that table, on that sofa. Your mama said, well, Shaunie, because you got mad, you said, well, you didn't have my back. Like, I can't believe you over here helping Brandi out or whatever, instead of cussing her out for, saying whatever she said to me. Then you call Brandi a bitch on more than one occasion when Brandi didn't even call you out your name like that, right? So then Jackie was like, well, Chantel, I don't, like, if you want me to jump in, then I'll jump in. But, I was like, basically what Jackie was doing in that moment, okay, was number one, not trying to get on her daughter's bad side, but then also at the same time, she was letting us know we've already had a conversation on how far and how far not I'm supposed to go when you have issues, okay? So for me, like, if you want me to get into the mix, I'll get into the mix because I'm not going to play about my child and ain't nobody else in here finna play about my child, right? At this particular point in her life, okay? This is what Jackie was saying. So this issue should have never happened had you actually acknowledged the fact that not only did your mom defend you against Brandi, she was also willing to leave the event with you. My daughter out, I'm out. We out. Bye. Right? As a unified front. But instead, what you did was you said, no, mom, that's not this type of party. It's not for both of us to leave. You go back in there. And then next thing you know, you try to get the cast to pick a side. As if this is your show. That's not, I don't like that. We didn't even have to be here had you acknowledged that. And then, so that's what was happening, right? You're sitting there, you're talking to Jackie or whatever, you feeling away. And all of that right there led to Brittany Renner projecting her mommy issues on to Chantel. And I do feel like trauma bonding exists in friendships, and that is exactly what Brittany Renner and Chantel were and are doing in my personal, okay? But when all of this is sorted out, you're going to see Brittany for who she is. She's a flip-flopper in my personal. So be mindful of that. Okay, and she be so ready to snap off on people at the drop of a dime for no reason because you have unrooted issues within you that you need to go get some healing from. I don't understand why a lot of people like to run to reality TV instead of running to a couch first. But y'all gotta make y'all money, so get your coin. Just understand what comes with that. If you already have a weak mental, being on a public platform like that isn't going to help. Okay. But if let's say you signed up for this show that's going to film in November, Start your therapy now, baby. Let me go ahead and sort out whatever it is I need to sort out now. So should anything come up, I know how to better handle my situation when it comes. Okay. So I have to get with Chantel on that because yeah, as I mentioned, yeah, that situation led to Brittany Renner trying to fight your mama. She was projecting. Jackie was over it because obviously Brittany Renner is interjecting herself in a situation that has nothing to do with her and projecting her own mommy issues onto you. Then you go over there and talk to Brandi and say, when I was a child, I felt like I had to be perfect. What does that have to do with you feeling like your mama didn't have your back and not checking Brandi? When she did, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even be here. Okay? So there's that. Let's keep going. Chantel battling a case in court against the baby daddy, wins whatever. The ladies head to Hawaii. Chantel did decide to come after all because she wasn't sure. She wasn't trying to be around her mom. So there were some events that she didn't necessarily go to, okay? But she decided to go to Hawaii because she said she wanted to put belt to ass. That is why she went to Hawaii, okay? Now, she came to the dinner. Jackie's reaction, if y'all caught it, and I think it was in episode 9. I think it was episode 9. I think it was episode 9, I think. Or was it 8? Either way, one of the two. When Chantel walked in and surprised, and here go damn Brittany Renner. The queen is here. Can you sit down? Just have a seat. And that is also some Ashley Darby type energy of antagonizing the situation a little bit, doing too much. Brittany Renner has some built up stuff within her so bad that she ready to fight and get at somebody. Ready to go off on Evelyn to Evelyn apologize, and she was blown a wig cap pushed back blue because she didn't know she didn't know what to do when Evelyn apologized. She wasn't expecting it. Then she turned her sights over there on Brandi, but first turned it on Jackie. She has some turmoil going on and she does not know what to do with it, but she likes to hide behind her religion, right? As if she's working through things and she's a better person, but you're not. I don't care how many religions you join, you need something else. Okay? You need something else. You need to be heard on another couch. You need to be heard on how to handle situations because you are ready to project all that built up anger that you have onto somebody else. I need you to get it together. And let me tell you another thing, because I cannot stand Brittany Renner. In all honesty, you sitting over here talking about motherhood. You better hope your child don't feel no way about you. But let me pull it back. Let me pull it back. I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to pull it back. Because again, I don't know you like that, right? I don't know you, ma'am. I don't know what kind of mama you is. You may have done OnlyFans. You may have done some things, but you need to do what you need to do to take care of that child. Because obviously the baby daddy, I guess, wasn't giving you a lot, but was willing to take care of the child and get custody of the child, okay? And maybe you would use that as, well, the reason I am the mother that I am is because of how my mom was with me. That's possible, okay? So I'll pull that back. But my thing is this. You need to worry about how you show up for that baby and make sure that you're not repeating poor behavior, because y'all try a lot of trying not to be like your mothers only to turn into your mothers. I have to go back to you, Chantel. You talk about how your mom says, oh, you got to be perfect and this, that, and the other and yada, yada, whatever it was for image purposes. But then you turn around and you put your son, who could not even speak, not even a year old, in modeling. Yes, that's cute. Yes, that's so nice. Everybody put their kid in modeling, put them on a little TV show. Everybody want to do that. And then what we learned years down the road, how the kids were abandoned. But aside from that, not saying that about Chantel, but what I'm talking about is this. To me, modeling is one of the most critical careers that a person can have. The extreme judgment and perfection that comes along with that, and you're already putting your child in that before they can even tell you that's what they want you to do. Didn't Jackie put you in those same things? See, you don't even realize how you are slowly turning into the mother that you don't like, in my personal, and how you also manipulated some of the cast throughout the season. You're not too far off from your mama. Is Jackie cuckoo? Yes. Jackie be manipulated? Yes. Jackie have her fun side? Yes. Jackie got issues? Yes. And ain't nobody saying she don't. When we're clocking Chantel, understand, We're not saying Jackie was not a toxic mama. We're not saying Jackie don't be lying, and we're not saying Jackie isn't manipulative. But what we are saying is that Chantel got her shit too. She ain't, you know what I'm saying, 100%. Like, she damn near like her mama. Okay, and let me tell y'all who else I got to shout out. Ty. Because Ty was the only person that saw it. Ty, to me, was the only person that saw through Chantel's BS. When Chantel was trying to separate the crew and be like, you got to pick a side or whatever. And she like, wait, like, you trying to get me to pick a side? I'm not finna pick no side. Like, why you coming at me like I got to pick a side? She said, and she don't even know it, but you over here talking about your mama, but you act just like her. You bossy just like her. I said, Ty, the only one that's clocking this. Everybody else like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. As a mom, I would never. Whoa, 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 whoa. I could not. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's why y'all should have just sat back and ate y'all food. High key, the most I can do is get y'all to talk. But as far as how terrible Jackie is here or there, I don't got all the. I don't know everything. I don't know. I know what y'all tell me, so girl, I don't know. I wish y'all the best. I would try to get your mama to talk to you. I want you guys to hash this out. And truth be told, whatever is going on and what has happened, truthfully, is not my business. And if I'm being a genuine friend, I don't feel comfortable giving you my thoughts on this because it can further separate the bond that you guys are trying to build or lack thereof. Yeah. But I understand this is for TV, right? Well, if it's for TV, pull y'all storylines back out. Why Jen and Evelyn going to Hawaii? They ain't even beefing no more. Like, what the? So we just skip over Christian? Like, what? Did I miss something? I know I missed some episodes, but what happened? Oh, okay. So, getting back to my notes here, Chantel comes to dinner. This is what I was talking about. Jackie's reaction in episode 8 or 9 was like, she was happy to see her daughter showed up. Something happened because editing immediately jumped to, I think, somebody sitting down, and Jackie was like, she kind of threw her hands up like, I can't win for losing. Like, it was something like that motion. So some words or something was said. Now, I don't know if Chantel walked into the room on some, don't be smiling at me because you know I'm on your, ain't no telling. Because obviously some editing took place right there in that moment. And so Brandy's like telling her, she's like, yo, listen, I just want to go ahead and let you know that I apologize. I feel like I may have gotten a little bit in the middle of what you and your mom had going on. And I don't feel like you did. I don't feel like you did, Brandy. What you did had nothing to do. And even Chantel told you that a long time ago at Vegas that it ain't got nothing to do with you. She tried to say it was deeper than that. Was it? Was it? So you used this show to do what? Because you should have known coming on the show wasn't going to help you and your mom's relationship. So what did you use the show to further expose her? But that's not exposed to me because you ain't tell us nothing that we didn't already know. Only thing you told us, really, in my personal, was that you have unresolved issues with that. You know, you're still working on your healing process with that. But Brandy, it had nothing to do with you. The reason you called old girl the child, and I believe she turned around and called you a bitch, was because they didn't like the fact that you invited Jennifer over to Evelyn's house. The house you got Evelyn to celebrate for her Vegas birthday. But how dare they feel that way when the whole reason you was going to Vegas anyway was for Jen's wedding? They had to know she was going to at least try and pop up somewhere. But they feeling a way about you and say you had a stank attitude. So that had nothing to do with Jackie at all. Chantel was very much so projecting on that. So when she's at this dinner and she's talking about apologizing to her and everything, I real quick, I already did the post that Chantel made. You guys may have to go back and rewind to get into that portion. But when Brandi is apologizing to Chantel over everything, you know, Jackie kind of, I think she said, she kind of did something like that. And then Chantel immediately, because she came and sat down with an attitude. Because she came down there to Hawaii to put belt tags. Keep that in mind. So she looks at Jackie and she's like, I'm trying to figure out what's funny. Like, what's funny? And she's like, huh? She's like, I want to know who called me impressionable. Jackie, and she's like, Banner. First, she said, "Hey, Banner, how are you?" Okay, because she didn't want that issue with her, right? So Chantel still pressed about the whole impressionable. They played a flashback. Jackie didn't say nothing about impressionable. She felt like her daughter was being, manipulated or told certain things or whatever. And some may equate that to impressionable. But when I hear that word and I just feel like Denise did not go back and relay the conversation accurately. The same way that Denise did not do that when it came to Evelyn, which is why Evelyn wanted to pounce on her. It's okay. And Evelyn also told Chantel she wanted to have a conversation because she thinks that things were not told accurately. All right. So we got to watch Denise because he gives a little liar. And Denise ain't bring up nothing she got going on at all in her life. But when you get around Jackie, you want to act annoyed. You want to say Jackie's acting like nothing ever happened with her and her daughter. That's because it ain't none of your business. That's why she acting like that. She's like, y'all not finna make me and my family. This my real life. Jackie understands what's happening. This my real life. This my daughter. At the end of the day, I'm gonna love my daughter, but y'all not finna use this moment for no television type stuff like y'all tried to do before. So that's what that is. But I guess that what Denise had going on. So they're having words, or at least, Chantel keeps talking, and Chantel says it's interesting, Brandi, that you're feeling like you came in the middle of me and my mom or whatever, but you're still hanging with her. Every time I see you, you're together. Brandi said, okay, and why is that an issue? And I'm like, so true, because two things can exist at the same time, in my opinion. I could feel like I may have had something to do with it when actually, Brandi, you didn't. And Chantel already told you that. So I don't know why you further trying to apologize. That's one. But then two, yes, I could feel like I had something to do with it, but obviously I don't have the issue with your mom. Me and your mom is good. Your mom accepted whatever apology I may have given her, and we good. Why do you think I'm supposed to separate from your mother because you got an issue? I don't know you, young man. I mean, young woman, young ma'am. I don't know you, girl. I know you, Jackie's daughter, but actually, my friendship is here. I know your mother more than I know you. So why are you slick up here trying to get me to choose a side? What is that about? I don't have the issue. Oh, do you know what my mother says about you? Girl, I could care less. A boot scoop boogie. I could give it on what she said. You know why? Because we all talk shit about each other up here on this platform. That's what we do. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what she said. We're good. We've talked through our stuff. Y'all need to talk through y'all stuff. Okay? So that's that. So yeah, so Jackie asked her first when she said, should I tell Brandi what you said? Jackie like, what I say? And meaning like, yeah, go ahead and tell her. It ain't nothing that you could tell Brandi that I've said about her that I haven't said on camera and in previous seasons. Like, what do you think you're doing here? So then Jackie tells her, listen, you know what, Chantel, because I think she was trying to talk or whatever it was that happened in that moment. Jackie said, Chantel, as much as I would love to do this with you, I'm going to head out. And that's when Chantel started going off. Oh, you leave because ain't nobody, go ahead and go because ain't nobody going to sit up here and continue to put up with your bullshit. Ma'am, you have an opportunity to talk to your mother about anything she may have said and done. And here's the thing that people are not paying attention to in my personal. Chantel brings up to the ladies her childhood. When it's time to talk to her mother, she never tells her my childhood. You know why? Because the issue Jackie is assuming has already sorted itself out. They've already talked about it. They've already went through therapy and stuff, right? So she's thinking they're in a better place. So what is the issue? Is the issue me not defending you when it came to Brandi? Because I did. Okay. So Chantel, oh, just get up and leave. Ain't nobody gonna continue to deal with your bullshit and your this and that. This conversation could have went differently. Jackie told her, listen, I'm open to have a conversation with you, but I'm not doing it like this. Everybody acts like Jackie is running from a conversation with her daughter, and they are not listening to her at all. Jackie tells them, I am going to have a conversation with my daughter privately, but it won't be with y'all. But Jackie, this is where you lost me. When you told Jen that if you have a conversation with your daughter, it's going to be on your platform, on your podcast, on your show. I don't like that. Because what's the benefit? What you think they're gonna be able to learn something or whatever if you go? Because see what it sounds like you would have wanted her to come on your podcast because you feel like it's more of a controlled setting versus it being producer field, right? But I don't like that. I don't agree with that. I don't think that really is anybody's business. That should be between y'all. So I think that was whack, my personal, to even say that. And Chantel did get upset. Okay. Um, what else did I want to say? So Chantel calls her brother, and this right here for me kind of goes back to the point I was saying earlier, where they had been kind of got through their stuff, and Chantel is still trying to make this happen. Like Chantel doesn't want to talk in private. She wants to have the conversation in front of the group, as she said, because she felt like the disrespect happened in front of everybody. That was all you're doing. High key. Okay. Um, Another thing, the brother says, she calls her brother, she tells her brother about how she was what she said she told her brother something. Oh, about the impressionable comment. I asked mom about me being impressionable, and she gets up and she leaves. And I said, now wait a minute. So you're not gonna tell your brother about you bringing up Brandi to your mom, a person that really is irrelevant to the conversation of you and your mom? You're not gonna tell your brother about that, but you're gonna bring up the impressionable comment, and mom gets up and leave. And I don't even know why she does that. Like, why is she even doing that? And Dougie say, yeah, I'm confused because it really should have been sorted out a long time ago. A long time ago. So for me, that tells me when Jackie tells Chantel that we were good before this, she wasn't lying when she said that. Y'all were good. But Chantel, who hasn't actively told her mama what the real issue is whenever Jackie has asked her, she wants to bring up other stuff instead of saying, oh, it's the childhood. I'm not over how you treated me. Da, 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 da. Right? She bring up other SHI. What else did I want to say about that? I think that may be it. Anything else that'll come back to me. So yeah, so I did want to say, yeah, that just serves a point for me that they have already resolved their issues or sorted things out before coming on the show, which is what Jackie said that they did do. Okay. And I believe that to be the case because of how Shanice, not Shanice, but Chantel was allowing her mom to come around. And I'm going to bring her to the photo shoot. And me and my mom are in the same building. Why you in the same building as your mama? You didn't have to be. You could have been anywhere in LA. I mean, you used to live there before, right? So you didn't have to choose to be in the same exact building as her. Right? So do you want your mama around? You don't want her around. You want her to help? You don't want her to help. Which one is it for me? Um, let's see. So Chantel at some point during the trip is trying to make the group choose pretty much like I told you guys, like, pretty much choosing between her mom. She said she's trying to, I feel like she was trying to force her mom off the show or something because she was getting people to a point where you need to choose. She did that to Jen, she did that to Ty, and she kind of alluded to it amongst the entire group. So later on, when they do have a sit down, and Ming is over there, like, when I see how you moving and stuff, and I hear Shanice's side, it makes me feel like I ain't got no choice but to choose up with Chantel. I ain't got no choice but to go with Chantel. Chantel starts smiling because she happy because she feel like the group is making a stance to choose her over her mama, therefore icing her mama out. Therefore, if ain't nobody trying to film with you and they trying to film with your daughter, then you ain't really got a spot on this show. So what's really going on? Because again, it goes back for me that as much as you don't like your mom, you're turning into her. I'm not going to say you want to be her by wanting to get that spot on the show. It may be time for new ones to come in versus old ones. You know what I'm saying? The people still being there, but it's not adding up for me. Like, but that's just my personal on that situation. Let's keep going though. So Chantel learns from Evelyn and Jen that her mom, about that whole talk show situation. She didn't like that. Now, granted, when she did finally get a conversation with her mama, I don't recall her telling her mama, like, yo, I don't like that you said you would talk to me on a podcast. Like, why would you even wait that long? Like, we here now. We could chat about it now. Instead, you bring Brandi up again. What are we doing? What are we doing, love? Let's get to the point. What are we doing? What are we doing? So Chantel says, Jen has to pick a side now. She got to pick a side now. And that's when I told y'all about the tie situation and stuff, okay? So, this is the last portion that I took notes on from, I believe, this previous episode. Jackie talks with Chantel again. And matter of fact, I'm going to play that. This is not when they get into it. This is a different one when they sit down and they talk.
And on Basketball
Is
Wives.
this it? I don't think that's the one. Let me double check. I think it's over. Is it this one? Let's see.
I decided to meet with my mom one-on-one before the dinner tonight. I'm just hoping that she comes in and she's just willing to take accountability for everything that has happened since I moved to LA. And I don't feel like we'll get anywhere amongst the group. Hi, Vanna.
Now keep in mind, look at this. She comes in, and y'all couldn't really see it, but Banner already had an attitude on her face, like, it's like, okay, you're setting the tone already for how this conversation finna go. When Jackie just walked in and said, hey, Banner.
You look good.
That's what you came to do?
I came to listen instead of talk.
Now, I feel like in this moment, Chantel is thinking to herself that you're going to act like you didn't just walk out. So you just going to come in and act like you didn't just walk out. You want to compliment me and this, that, and the other. Yeah, I'm trying to set a nicer tone for you. I'm trying to say you got the attitude. If I meet you with the same attitude, we're not going to get nowhere. So, hi, daughter. You look cute. That's what we came to do. Girl, I came to talk. I came to listen. What's up? What you got to say? Let's talk. We're finally alone. This is what I wanted. I wanted us to sit down and have a one-on-one. What you want to talk about?
When we were in Vegas, did you not talk about Brandi to me the whole...
What the fuck does that have to do with anything in this moment? What does that have to do with anything in this moment? Why are you finally getting the sit down that you've been requesting with your mom, although you wanted it publicly and she wasn't willing to give the cast that? Y'all sit down and you want to bring up Brandi. Brandi is irrelevant to the situation at hand. You've even told Brandi that. Why are we bringing her up? Whatever Jackie said about another woman has nothing to do with you and her. We need to stay on topic. Let's get to the root of what the issue is. Let's talk about y'all and y'all dynamic, okay?
whole time?
Shaunie, first of all,
These are rhetorical yes or no questions.
before we
So that means you already got the answer then if they're rhetorical.
even start talking about these other broads, let's
That's what
talk
I'm
about
here to
me
do.
and you. When we decided to sit down,
I know that's right. Let's talk about me and you. Let's talk about me and you. Yeah.
We
was
didn't
to
decide
sit-
anything.
Okay.
I decided to sit down.
Chantel.
You've been around me on 3 separate occasions, and you walked away like a cowardly lion every single time. That's the truth.
What I will not deal with is
I don't. You
I
can
didn't
get up
come
and
to
go at any
argue,
time.
and I will
didn't
not
either.
listen.
And I'm not
listen.
going to tolerate your disrespect
Okay,
either. I'm
well-
not.
She ain't even let her mama talk. She ain't even let her talk. She's trying to tell her what I'm not here to do, what I will not do. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not here to do any of that. You will not disrespect me. I'm not going to da-da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to get nowhere.
Not afraid of you. You're not going to
Oh my
police
God,
what I
my
say.
daughter is so
I'm
much
not
like me.
15, 16
Thank you, Jackie. Oh, my God. My daughter is so much like me. Yeah.
Okay,
year
okay,
old
okay,
Chantel.
okay, okay,
You
okay.
can't bully
Calm
me
down.
anymore.
I'm not 15-year-old Chantel. You can't bully me anymore. Who is trying to bully you in this moment? Y'all were supposed to be having a conversation. Jackie can barely get the words up out her damn mouth.
Calm down.
I don't have to do.
She telling you to calm down. I think that's the best thing to do, to have a conversation that makes sense. But Chantel, listen. She is unresolved. She hasn't gotten. She is unresolved.
Girl, bye. You ain't ready. When you ready, you know. The teacher will appear when the student is ready.
I bet. I bet. And you failed every
I'm
class.
done. Thank you. I'm getting accused of being everything under the sun. You know, how much is a person supposed to take? You're spewing insults, you're lying on me. Shaunie's my daughter, but don't try to run over me and don't disrespect me. I'm nice. Tell I'm not nice.
Bye-bye. Bye. I love you. That's why your husband is going to leave you and your kids don't like you.
That's what she really wanted to get off. She's been threatening to get that off and get that out since Las Vegas. Since Las Vegas. I'll violate you in here. I'll expose you. Jackie said, you can't expose me. I'll expose you. Okay. She's been ready to get that off, and that's what she got off.
Okay, whatever, Shaunie. You sound silly.
That is the exact reason right there.
This is childish.
No, what's childish is you. Absolutely. Run the up out of here, because I will violate you in front of everybody in this hotel.
Let me
Run
find
up
some
outta here.
stairs.
Take the stairs, Jackie. That's the best idea you ever came up with. Please get up out of here, because you know how I'm coming.
Ooh.
Please get up out of here, because you know how I'm coming as you follow and chase your mama down.
Good idea. Go call Douglas on the phone and try to deflect, because you goofy, and I put up with your long enough.
It's just...
It sounded like she said, go call Dougie. I think she was talking about her brother. Like, go call Dougie and try to deflect. Maybe she was talking about her dad. But I feel like y'all, if that's the case, y'all both do that. That's what's crazy to me. Like, y'all damn near about the same. Right? In my personal. Because you just got on the phone with your brother and you didn't give him the whole story. Then when you run this story back to the girls, you're going to tell them something else about you wanting to talk and her getting up and just leaving.
Really hard to stomach. Your child is trying to sit here and have a conversation with you. And
That wasn't a conversation, my love. You were trying to have an argument. You were trying to have an argument. And because I have not experienced what you've experienced, I don't want to invalidate your feelings solely, but I can't rock with you the whole way, girl. I can't, because you could feel how you feel, but you ain't really telling your mama nothing. You know, we had a whole conversation and you're not really telling her nothing. When you're talking to the other ladies, you're telling them about your childhood or whatever. When you're talking to your mom, you bringing up other people. Like, why are we having this conversation? Because you can't be coming to me, talking to me about what I've said about or to this person or any of that. Like, huh?
you just keep getting up, walking away because you just don't want to acknowledge the mess that you've made. A waste of my time.
And that was so childish, pathetic.
I have to disagree again. How does she not want to acknowledge when she's telling you, I'm willing to have this conversation, but what I'm not going to do is argue and yell. I'm not going to do the things that you were doing. But all the other ladies are also like, Jackie doesn't want to talk to her daughter. Around you. Around you. Evelyn would never have these conversations with Shanice around these ladies. Around y'all.
I can't explain the anger that I feel. I would never do that to my children. It's very painful. Is she in there, Antonio? Bring her out. Bring her out. Why you got her in the elevator for? Bring her out. You such a mother. You can't have the conversation?
She was trying to have a conversation. That's what I can't get past. Like, she was trying to have a conversation with you.
That's crazy. Is nobody, like, seeing what's happening here?
No, I'm not. Okay? So, that's one of the scenes of the sit-downs that the ladies had together. Chantel says that she's experienced so much at the hands of outsiders, and so much could have been prevented if her mom just believed her. Now, what she experienced, I'm not necessarily sure. Chantel has outed her sister as violating her in a certain manner, allegedly. That is what she put out on social media, but her sister, in my opinion, would be an insider versus an outsider. So I don't know what she's alluding to or what she's speaking on when she talks about outsiders, doing certain things to her. Okay. Now, she said she never felt safe sharing with her mother. Okay. If I will say this, if I had a mom where when I do confide in you, you go and you may tell my information to other people, that's a problem. And if I tell you things and you tell me that I'm lying, that'd be a problem too. Okay. So I understand that. She says that her mom would say she tells Brittany them things like, oh, my mom, she would kick in our door. I mean, no, she'll tell me to clean my room up unless my dad comes in here and kick me down the stairs or something like that, she said.
I had no intent to even go there with her, but it's like, you're just so fake. I think it was just refreshing to tell her, like, you can't bully me anymore. You can't make me feel insecure and uncomfortable. Like, you've always projected your insecurities on me.
And this is where I feel like I don't invalidate Chantel's feelings on how she felt about that. But the problem is, that's not the situation at hand. Like, to me, Jackie hasn't done anything to warrant you to say that, oh, you can't bully me anymore, when she's never tried to bully you. Only thing she's done was got up and walked off. That's the only thing that she got up and walked off. Right? So what happened at the very end of the episode was definitely a buildup of trying to remove herself from the situation, not wanting another blow up like this to happen. Also, when she has this talk with the girls, you hear her say, I was just trying to have a conversation. I had no expectations of going right here with her. But as soon as your mama sat down, you had a stank face, you had an attitude. Oh, that's what we doing? Well, we were in Vegas. You said to Brandi. You said Brandi ain't had nothing to do with it. What's really going on? What's the issue? And if you are mentioning Brandi, you're likely about to mention how your mama did not have your back. But it sounds like you wanted to reiterate what you already talked about at the table, which was Jackie talking SHI about Brandi. That's what you really wanted to get into. But if you wanted to get into Jackie not checking Brandi, go back and watch the clips, because she did tell her. And the only thing Brandi did was call you a child. You didn't like that she called you a child and had a little back and forth. Jackie told her, again, for the people, do not call my daughter out her name. She has her name. Her name is Chantel. Call her by her name. That was defending you. You left the restaurant because you were over it. Your mama said, my daughter out, I'm out. She leaves with you. That was supporting you. You turn around, tell her to go back inside. She asks if you sure. You say yeah. In the effort to not get you upset because she can feel it getting there, she goes back inside. She sits down. But wouldn't engage with further conversation with the ladies that wanted to make it a thing. Jackie wouldn't talk about that. So, yeah. Let's keep going.
Always wanted me to be a sample model size. You've always wanted me to be this perfect person. When I was a kid, I experienced so much at the hands of outsiders, and I never felt safe sharing that with my mom. And I feel like in the moments that I did, it was more so, you're lying. That couldn't have happened to you. So much of what happened to me when I was younger could have been prevented if she had just believed me. How different would I be? How different would my siblings be? The mental warfare that we experienced was worse than anything. She would say things like, you better clean up your room before your dad get here and kick you down the stairs. Like, what? My dad has never even expressed violence like that to me. When I tell you guys that I was raised off of fear and not respect, like, these are the things that I'm talking about. Telling the truth.
Yeah, you were raised off of fear and not respect. So then my question becomes, where was your daddy? Where that daddy at? Because for me, not caring about how anybody feels, don't care what y'all talking about because I said what I said, where that fucking ass daddy at? Because if Jackie running amok in the palace, as we are aware that she has, your father was a fucking enabler, and ain't nobody changing my mind. I don't care how blue in the face you get. your father was an enabler. And although you like to put him on the pedestal, like he's the perfect parent, and my dad never did this, and your dad enabled her. Your dad is just as problematic as your mother because he was aware of what happened and he allowed it to continue to happen. Not changing it, feel away. He still allowed it to happen. The actions that you saw happen with your sister, and you're saying, oh, mommy told her to run on a treadmill. I need to watch her. The time she gets on, the time she gets off, I need to write that information down and take it back or whatever like that. He was privy, he was aware, he was there. And I feel like that mistreatment, in my personal, I feel like that probably had been there for a minute, potentially. I don't know that to be a fact. This is my opinion. Sometimes women will treat that oldest child bad based on how that relationship ended. They'll take the anger they have on that from that parent or for that parent out on that child. So I would want to believe that she probably had certain actions about her when it came to that daughter, and he still chose to marry her. Now, granted, because she was running up behind him in the NBA and stuff, maybe he didn't get to see much of that parenting. Who knows? However, where that daddy at? And I know he tired. I know he tired, but don't get tired. Don't get tired, sir. Don't get tired because you were there to witness it and you didn't stop it. You didn't do anything that we're privy of. We're often hearing about what Jackie did, but we're not hearing about what the husband did. What did he do to stop it? How did he show up? What was going on? I don't care anything. Don't care anything about him being in the NBA and him going on trips and doing all this and that. Girl, we've seen men, and this sounds even crazy, but it's real, discipline children from prison. Yeah, you can't get your phone. You can't get this or that. Da-da-da-da-da. So he has more access to his daughter than a person in prison. You over here going on different trips or whatever. But you know what you could do, right? Not so much as disciplining her, but you also have access to that mama. So then, yeah, I'm confused because also, at one point, Chantel does talk about her mom seeming to like not really be there, but then at the same time, she wanted y'all to be perfect all the time. So I don't know. I guess she wasn't there, but when she was, it's perfection. Have no doubt about it. That I'm not going to deny at all. That is her experience for itself. But Jackie definitely has shown up in previous seasons that life is great and everything is good. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all got on the show, aired her out about her parenting. I don't think she want to go through that again. She don't trust you. It was like that, especially after Evelyn just came for her last season. Why would she even want to talk about anything in front of her? Especially a woman who wouldn't want nobody discussing her child or children. So, yeah, what a daddy at? Bring him. Bring him. Daddy's so removed, don't really want to have nothing to do with it that y'all have to call Dougie. Dougie, like, baby, I'm just trying to get out of college. Okay? Or unless he just graduated college, I'm trying to figure my life out. But I keep picking up the phone every 20 minutes because y'all calling me blasting at each other. Because y'all don't know how to communicate. Y'all supposed to be setting an example for me. I thought y'all already went to counseling. I thought that, listen, this should have been resolved a long time ago, which is what Dougie said. So I am inclined to believe what Jackie says when they didn't have an issue before the show. Now they're on the show and now it's this big old issue. Right? Another thing, like I said earlier, that confirms that for me is the fact that she had her mother around. Heavy on the boundaries, that Jackie was tiptoeing around, not to cross her boundaries, to stay in perfect good grace with her daughter in the effort to not set them back, only for them to end up being set back. And Chantel feeling away because she feels like her mama is having conversations with everybody else but her. Right? But your mama didn't say nothing really. She didn't really say anything too bad. She wanted people to support you, have your back. That's what she wanted. She did feel like you were being manipulated by somebody, but you definitely went around to her different people. Definitely went around to different cast members. So your mama can't talk or say anything, and wasn't even to me saying anything bad, but you can go around and you can say everything to the entire cast, so much so telling them to pick a side. I don't like y'all. This wasn't a good idea because now y'all got additional thoughts. You may feel like you have exposed your mom, and that's fine. Even though, again, like I said earlier, it's not exposing to me because it's nothing that we didn't already know, right? But if anything, it's unfortunate because now more people are coming at you. It's one thing for us to judge and have things to say, but it's another for people to be threatening her and sending hate mail. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that at all. Okay? Please fall back on all of that. All right. So yeah, this was not a good idea ultimately for her to be a part of this show. And not having much of a storyline when it comes to other things you have going on, that now we lean into how she showed up for Brandi, all while still trying to show up for you too. And Brittany Renner actually clocked her earlier in the season when she tried to complain about her mom and talk about how she's been showing up or whatever. Britt says, "Oh, but I thought your mom said that, there were certain boundaries, like, she isn't supposed to like pretty much cross certain boundaries. She's not supposed to say anything unless you let her know that you want her to step in." And then Chantel said, "Well, yeah, you could say that, but," and goes on to say some other stuff. And it's like, well, that's that. I was already thinking that. I had already said that. Jackie had already said that. And here it is. Brittany Renner confirms that, or she says it, and then you turn around and confirmed it. So what we mad? What's the issue here? You mad because you feel like your mother did not show up for you? And then now, I guess maybe you use that situation to project the bigger issue that you have with her, which is how she showed up during your childhood. And although you guys have already sat down to talk about that, you still are not completely over that. And I'm not saying that you should be over that, soon, or anything. I would think that you're in a better place in your healing process after having a sit down with the therapist and Jackie and all of that. So that's what I would think. But you coming on this show to add to that, nah, ma'am. That's not it. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me clear this stuff out real quick. And then we'll get into more. Okay, cool. So yeah, I can't rock with that. Let's see. I want to get into an apology of Ming Lee. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. How dare I? We have to get into the infamous altercation that took place between the two. Okay.
Hi, Sharon.
After dinner, Ty came to me and she said that my mom wanted to see me. Me going up to this room, I want the opportunity to speak my piece and to tell her how I truly feel. It's almost like a toxic relationship with an ex.
How you truly feel about what, baby? How you truly feel about her showing up for Brandi? Or how you truly feel about how she's been as a mother?
You keep trying to see the good in this person.
I'm gonna start this again. I won't walk out. You tell me what's going on.
Please look at this.
I think we're kind of past that point, don't you think?
Ma'am, why did you come upstairs, baby? Why did you come upstairs? If you feel like you were already past that point, why did you come upstairs? What did you I guess you wanted to just come upstairs and her mama automatically apologize or something. But why did you come upstairs? Like, you didn't have to go up there.
I love you. I don't know what happened with us as far as Vegas, as far as it getting to this point. What I kick myself in the butt about is I should have said something prior to now. I should have forced the issue. At the end of the day, you got to remember, Banna, I don't have a problem with you.
You shouldn't. I didn't do nothing to you.
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying.
I don't really
You
care.
feel you didn't do nothing to me.
I didn't.
And I feel I didn't do nothing to you.
Well, that's crazy.
My only point is this, Shaunie.
You feel you didn't do, I didn't do nothing to you. That's what I'm saying. You ain't do nothing to me. I ain't do nothing to you. Why we even arguing? If that's how you feel, well, I've been trying to find out. But you keep bringing up other folks. So what have I done to you?
We can argue all day long.
I'm not gonna argue with you. Those days are completely
guess
over.
what?
I left you downstairs. I came back up here more so to tell you that going forward, we won't be going forward.
Girl, you didn't even have to come up there. You didn't even have. Why we came upstairs then? I think we're past that point. Going forward, we're not going forward. Okay. I understand you upset right now. That's fine. I'm going to always be here whenever you're ready to talk. I respect your wishes. Like, what?
We're done.
That's fine. The cameras don't mean nothing to me.
Okay, well,
more
they
than
clearly
anything,
do.
what I made them understand is I wanted you to get an opportunity to sit down with your mother, because prior to the cameras, we didn't have this issue.
We didn't?
No.
So we've had a great relationship?
Y'all see that? They on two different pages, clearly. Jackie is focused on how they were entering this season before the cameras. They were good. So good that Shaunie moved into her mother's building. So good that Shaunie had her mom around her children. So good that Shaunie decided that she was going to have her mom at the photo shoot. Right? Now, I will say Shaunie hasn't let her mama meet her man yet. Now, why? I don't know. But I don't think neither one of her parents met her man yet. Nor did they come to the wedding, because I think she did like a courthouse or something like that. So, yeah.
Shaunie, have we not?
Have we had a great relationship?
Okay, then you should probably...
Shaunie talking about the relationship, right, as a whole. Because that's what she's been telling all the other girls. Jackie is only thinking about how they were coming into the season. Okay? Because Shaunie, that's the last issue that Jackie may be aware of, which is, right, the fact that you felt the way that she had, or not so much as had Brandi's back, but she didn't defend you. But y'all already had an agreement on what Jackie was and was not going to do. She was going to let you handle her your own battles. However, Jackie did check Brandi. So she did defend you.
be able to share with me why you feel that
Mom,
way.
I'm asking you a rhetorical question. I feel like there's a huge difference between Jackie the mother and Jackie the personality. And I think that that version of Jackie is who came and sat down in front of me right now. I don't want to be a part of the lie.
All as I know.
You're so sad.
All as I know.
This is sad.
It isn't.
It is
all
very
as I know
sad,
is I
Mom.
agreed
You
to
need
sit
help.
down again with you to have this conversation for you. It ain't for me. I wanted to give you an opportunity to clean your name up. If this
I
how you
need
want
to clear my name up?
Chantel.
That part is crazy. Clear my name up. I was like, clear her name up, Jackie. What you talking about? Then it made me think this. When Jackie says clear her name up, I feel like whatever they both have been sharing to Dougie and the dad, I feel like that is what she's talking about.
Listen, if this how you...
I need to clear my name up?
Girl, stop.
Do you hear yourself?
Stop.
I need to clear my
I'ma
name
say
up?
this.
Please say it.
I
and
love
record
you.
it while you're
I
at
ain't
it.
recording
So
nothing.
you can
I
run
look
it back
to
to
see.
Dad and
I
Douglas
look.
and
Stop.
continue to lie to them and tell them that what
my
happened
God.
didn't happen.
Shaunie.
So that when they see this, they see you for the violent individual that you are.
Stop?
No, I'm not going to
Okay,
stop.
well-
And I'm not going to let up. And I'm
Well,
going to
guess
speak
what
the
I
truth
want
to
you to do?
Every
I want
single
you to
time.
get
I have
up.
zero respect
I want
for
you to get up and leave my
Zero
room.
respect for
Get
you.
up and leave my room.
Zero
okay,
respect
bye-bye.
for you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank
Just
you.
leave. You look very
Thank
cute.
you for wasting my time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, girl.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night, girl.
Bye-bye.
You have
will.
a good night, girl.
Good night, sweetie. Good night.
Be well.
Good night. I
Seek
will.
help.
That's a much better exit.
You right.
Jackie, now that right there, that's a much better exit. I don't think that was necessary. I feel like you should have let that girl go ahead and go out the door. I don't think anything else needed to be said once you told her to get the hell out.
Good night.
You're right. And
I
you
love
think you look better?
Bye-bye.
Do you think you look better? Do you think
Shaunie.
that
Jackie tells her, I love you. Now, that's not because Chantel didn't walk back when she said that's a much better exit. Chantel didn't start walking back till Jackie told her, I love you, goodbye. as she was going out the door. That's when Chantel turned around and decided to come back.
You fix the situation because you're sitting here looking stupid.
I don't.
Look how you look as a mother, Jackie.
If you don't
Look
get
how you look as a mother.
Get out of my room.
Don't touch me. Bitch, I'm not you. Let me go. Let me go.
That's crazy, bro. She sat over there and pushed her mama. She's talking about her mama touched her arm. I didn't see that, but I definitely saw you push your mama. Looks like Jackie was walking right past you so she could hold the door open for you as you make your grand exit. Okay? And you pushed her. Right? I know some people may feel like, oh, I feel like her reaction to that was something she's used to Jackie doing, so she decided to push her. No, that's not what that vibe gave to me. That vibe gave, I'm frustrated that my mama is not hearing me. I do feel dismissed, so I am going to push her in an effort to get a reaction. It's just that you got a reaction that you were not planning on getting, okay, in that moment. To me, you know, I'm just saying. She walked past her. You must do that all the time for her to push you. That's not what they gave. That's not what they gave, okay? I do think they argue a lot, though. I do think they argue a lot. Jackie says to the producer she not speaking on her daughter. She ain't got nothing to say. Chantel goes back to the room with the ladies, and this is what she says.
She swung on me.
She swung on you?
People start grabbing and holding. Security grabbed me. Security grabbed her.
I never thought that it would get beyond the point of mother and daughter having a brawl in Hawaii.
For her to put her hands on her daughter. Something is happening in Jackie's world.
It's so disgusting. I don't think anybody could help this situation but God.
She couldn't help herself. She just realized that this is too real and it just did something to her.
She lost. She ran out of options. She ran out of everything.
So
and she's
terrible.
spiraling.
So terrible. You guys see?
This cast is so funny to me. Y'all pushed her up to have a conversation with her mama so goddamn much. And criticized her for walking away when the whole time she was walking away so they didn't have a blow up at all. But Chantel, you did the same thing you did with your brother. You did the same thing you did with Brittany Renner and Denise when you walked into that room and left out details. And then you did the same thing when you went in there with Evelyn and them. You did not tell them that you pushed her mom. And I personally felt like you wanted to continue to be whatever role you're trying to be amongst the cast. A victim, I suppose, right? But why you didn't tell them that? Now you're saying to us that she touched her arm. But I would have expected you to say that to them in that moment. She touched my arm and I pushed her, you know, and then she hit me. That's not what happened. You showed your pinky finger. You said that she hit me. But you showing that pinky finger to me, I mean, I guess that would be self-explanatory though, because what the pinky got to do with the kid? I guess that was you trying to get back at your mama. But what you also didn't tell the ladies as well, another thing you left out earlier in that conversation when I was just trying to have a conversation, was how you walked behind your mom all throughout the hotel. I feel like that's antagonizing the situation. And I do feel, in my opinion, we all know the things that we can and cannot do when it comes to our parents, that we'll get a certain reaction out of them. And I feel like that's what Shaunie was doing. She was expecting to get some type of reaction. I don't know if she was expecting to get mollywopped or whatever, but yeah. You was trying to, get some type of reaction out of her, and here we are going down the stairs, and yeah, blah, 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 blah. Every time she sat down amongst the ladies and it's time to have a conversation, you had an attitude. You take the conversation in a different direction. That's why Jackie would get up and leave. In addition to not wanting to do that in front of the ladies, right? Now, maybe she didn't want the tea out there about, oh, your husband's going to leave you and your kids don't like you. Maybe she didn't want that, and that could be a part of it too. Because that's what you've been wanting to get off, really. So Ming Lee comes out, and this is what Ming has to say. Jackie, I'm going to keep it real. After watching last night's episode and thinking back to how everything played out in real time, I owe you an apology. If anything I said or did came off offensive, that was never my intention, and I'm truly sorry. I was under the impression you swung first, and that shaped how I saw it. But watching it back, woo, it hit different. I don't condone violence at all, and it was hard to watch. As a mom, I understand where your emotions were coming from. Anybody in your shoes would have felt the same. This whole situation reminded me to stay out of family business and focus on my own damn business. I really do hope y'all can heal from this because that was tough to witness. All right, so that is what Miss Ming had to say about the situation at hand. Okay, I haven't seen anyone else come out and give their 2 cents or acknowledge any fault or whatever. Let me see. It looked like Brittany Renner may have said something. Oh, she's looking for a moment. She's looking for a moment. Okay, so this is what Brittany posted, y'all. I've been on IG since 2012. You can't bully a bully. I love us. The big 3 is heavy on the whack 3. A bunch of whack. It's heavy on the whack 3 for me. Yeah, I noticed when Chantel makes posts and stuff, Britt Renner likes to follow up behind it. It's giving you piggybacking off of some of her clout or something when you're supposed to have your own since you've been on social media since 2012. I loved how Evelyn called out Denise, though, at the table and checked her and told her, bitch, we tired of you. Okay, what she said, we sick of you, hoe. Is this it? Let me see.
Brittany, why are you so quiet?
I feel like I've said a lot, so now I have really nothing to say.
So let me ask you a question, Brittany. I understand you're going through a spiritual journey, but with this journey, what gives you the reason to call me out of my name?
When you said that you didn't know where my energy came from, I offered you clarity. You said you didn't want to hear it.
I'm asking you a question now.
Clarity no longer available to you. Not today.
Okay.
Not clarity, no longer available.
You don't want to explain why you called her a bitch, but I do think you deserve an apology.
Astaghfirullah for my shortcomings. Astaghfirullah.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Right. You're not getting an apology.
And so you're an asshole. You pick and choose when you want to be healed.
God is working on all of us. And
yeah, God is working on all of us. And baby girl, God has been working on me with you.
I have a question. So when she offered clarity, why did you deny it then?
I'm talking to her and
I'm
asking
talking
her
to
now.
you now.
Okay, but we want clarity tonight.
Okay, well, you're jumping in, so I'm going to jump in now.
Jump in.
We're tired of your ass. We're tired of you.
Baby, it's been a long time since I've been here for Evelyn Lozada. But the way she put that hand up and told that, like, bitch, I'm tired of you. We sick of you. Keep jumping in, chiming in. Ain't nobody talking to you. I love it.
You want to be in every
She ain't know what to do. She ain't know what to do.
And you're the main person. We're tired of you.
No.
We're tired of you. Yeah.
And the whole time Evelyn chomping on your neck bone, Brittany not saying nothing to Evelyn.
Having a conversation. Sit the out of it.
Who wants to chime in? Denise. And here we go. The big 3 always want to back up for each other. That's my friend. That's my friend.
Like, come on. We're grown. We're grown. You're a grown woman.
I'm just over Denise, her comments. This situation has nothing to do with you.
I cannot yell, so I'm going to talk
So
to
just
you.
let the talk then.
I just don't know why Ming jumped in
I
that.
didn't jump in. I'm saying that she owes Brandi an apology.
And I don't
Calling
think so.
her a bitch is out of line.
Why you don't think so?
So I can say, all right, you then, bitch. And I don't owe you an apology.
And Evelyn just said shut the up for no reason.
But you doing
BITCH, you over here talking about the now hoe. We talking about before. Evelyn just said shut the fuck up. And that's completely different than calling somebody a That's why you should have sat there and ate your food and shut the hell up. Y'all be so ready to jump in and dive in for Chantel. She ain't saying nothing in defense of y'all. One. Two, Brittany not jumping in, trying to get the pack up off you. I'm hollering. Tries, but girl, this was crazy here. But let's get into more because Takari did put a post up, and Takari is the sister to Chantel. All right. And there was a post that was put up, and also Monique Slaughter decided to get down in the chat and say some things. Okay. So we'll get into both of those. Let me pull up that post first. Okay. So Takari says this post here. She says she doesn't even know our mom. If she did, she will only try to protect her. She didn't deserve to be done like this on her platform. That's all I have to say about this. I will say this, that I feel like she does know your mom, right? From her own experience. I do believe that each child experienced their parents differently. And that's just what I think. She may not have your direct experience with her. Obviously, she didn't. Two kids that look differently, two different fathers, whatever the case is. But I think she knows your mom from her experience, okay? If she did, she would only try to protect her. I can't fully agree that she would or wouldn't, because at one point she was defending you on the show, I felt, earlier on, when she was saying how her mom would come to her when it came down to you, right? And how she would witness her mom project certain insecurities or whatever onto you. So yeah, I will disagree with that. And that's that. Now we have where Shanice, not Shanice, but Moniece. I know Shanice like, now why am I in it? So Moniece Slaughter comes to the front, y'all, and it's lengthy, so let's get ready, okay? So Moniece Slaughter, and let me just go ahead and give you guys a heads up on this. Moniece is a person that was on Loving Hip Hop Hollywood, who has a son with Lil Fizz. A lot of times, her parenting was called into question not only by cast members, her baby daddy, her own mother. Okay? I believe her dad too. So they questioned her parenting, so much so that Moniece has been ready to stomp on necks for speaking on her parenting where she feel like they don't know anything about it. So for her to interject herself into their matters, I don't agree with. I feel like, I mean, even if she knew them personally, you could have hit them up on the phone. I feel like it's one thing to have your opinions online, but then it's another thing to like involve yourself entirely in the mix. So she says, now Takari, you doing a lot, sis. At one point, this was you, and we all defended you too. You was hollering neglect, and that you too were a victim of Jackie. So I guess I'm a little confused. If you're not going to talk about it, don't talk about it. Because you sure did go through the comments and respond to dang near everybody to talk about it. LOL. And it was your mom first. Now it's your sister. So if you're going to address anyone, address your sister. She's already done that. She's already done that with her sister because she felt like her sister was using her storyline, and then her sister came back and called her out for violating her. Okay. Takari said that her sister was lying. All right. But I don't know. These were just allegations that were put out there. Moniece says, because let's also be clear, was it not you that posted something after one of the episodes aired and nobody reported on it until your sister addressed you publicly, just as you done her publicly? But we never saw your response to her response to your initial public shade outreach. She definitely had been responding to her, but let's keep going. Takari says, everyone keeps saying they are confused because it's my business. Well, Takari, I have to disagree. I don't feel like it's, well, granted, yes, I feel like it is your business, but then you also wrote a book from my understanding. So with you writing a book, then I feel like it kind of becomes everybody's business as well, just like with reality TV. It becomes because y'all done put us in the mix now, but then at the same time, you're still right. Like, it's y'all business. And y'all really need to handle that behind a private wall. So she says, also, you've never seen me attack my mom. The only reason you know about me is because I was spoken about by the cast for years. What you saw was me defend myself against claims of being a con artist and scammer for having a GoFundMe for my hurt child. The internet and the show took my son's accident and made it about a donation. I didn't bring this info to y'all. My book was my side of what y'all seen going on. Another thing, I said what I said. My mom wouldn't be out here facing the world alone if they all left or whatever. I did not speak on their fight. That's their issue. I addressed what I wanted to. Have a good day, sis. So then it looks like Takari came back and said, I don't have, hold on, let me go back. No, Monique came back. She says, I wasn't referring to your GoFundMe or your son's accident. While I do remember that being a source of contention, what you said were things very similar to what your sister is saying about your mother, about size, deflection, etc. You even said that she ostracized you because of your complexion. That is, let me keep going. And it was brought up and pushed to the forefront because the world was shocked about the GoFundMe, and then Jackie brought it to the TV. So all I'm saying now is that while it is your business and your family, you wrote a book, and your sister made some pretty strong allegations. And so I would think that if your goal is to genuinely heal, then you'd address your family, not us. That's all. And I'm speaking from experience, so all I can say is that healing doesn't happen on the internet. I agree. But the tough conversations that the world is not made privy to, more often than not, will get the job done. Now, she did address her sister online, and she also said that her sister was using the things that happened to her. She felt like she was using her storyline as in Takari. That is what really got some of the stuff started, right? She's like, you out here using my storyline like you really went through some stuff when you really didn't. You know that you got better treatment from me, better treatment than me. So why are you trying to come on here like on some sympathy type stuff and piggyback off of my experience with mom? So that is what Takari was saying, and she directly addressed her sister, okay? However, at the same time, I do have to say, as I said before, everybody experiences their mother differently, okay? So I don't think that it's fair for Takari to try to downplay Chantel's experience when that was her own experience. Like, yeah, her mama may not have chastised her on losing weight like she did you, or get out of the sun, you'll get dark. Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was some other things. And that's what I wanted to make sure I was very clear about, as I talked about everything. I'm not invalidating her feelings. Her feelings are valid. My issue with Chantel is not being clear with her mom that was the issue, but telling everybody else. Her real issue with her mother was her feeling like she had Brandi's back over hers, and we would never be here if she would have acknowledged the fact that her mother checked Brandi's ass, and technically checked them on more than one occasion, like, don't come for my daughter, I'm gonna be on y'all ass, right? Chantel went and made it, I feel, to be, oh, it's deeper than that, okay? So nobody's saying Jackie's not toxic. Nobody's saying Jackie was a great parent. You have two kids that are saying similar things. Obviously, you dropped the ball. What I'm going to say is add your daddy in that mix. That's what I'm going to say. And then add the fact that doesn't make you not toxic yourself. So as much as you don't want to be like your mom, make note of certain things yourself, okay? Because your mama put you in modeling. Your mama did certain things to make you feel like you needed to be a perfectionist. Be mindful as you're putting your child in things. Okay. So, and I don't know what else she's going to be able to do with her daughter, considering the fact that the dad is trying to restrict her from even having the little girl on TV or doing certain things with her. He's trying to lock it down. So I don't know if that got lifted or not, but I would just say, be careful. Because as I said before, and I'm going to repeat myself, and I don't care how y'all feel about it. Y'all try so hard not to be like y'all parents, y'all end up being just like them. And it just sneak up on you. Especially if you have not gone to get certain issues resolved. So when certain things come up, you're acknowledging it. You're knowing this is happening. You have tools to go back and use on how I want to handle this situation moving forward, okay? So Takari responds and says, all I can say is, I know Chantel speaks for me a lot, but she's not my advocate, so I came on here last night to clear that up for y'all. I don't hate anyone, and if someone feels alone in this world, my heart would feel obligated to be there. That's just who I am. I wish nothing but an abundance of peace and healing for them both, okay? She says, I don't have that much hurt in me. You saw me address my mom in the first couple of seasons of the show, emotionally, but calmly. So no, I wouldn't have seized an opportunity to hurt Jackie. That's your heart and your mentality. She says, can't put that on me, sis. Oh, damn. So she's feeling like her sister used this moment to seize an opportunity to hurt Jackie. And she feels like that's her sister's heart and mentality. Interesting. Nobody wins when the family feuds. She also lets Monique know. Also, ma'am, Chantel and Brittany were addressed. You must have missed it. That's what I said. I waited on live for them to come confront me with their allegations and speak to some folks that had their own allegation against her. They didn't come. All right. Now, I will say, reading Monique's opinion, I don't think that Monique was fully wrong in everything that she was saying at all. I think that Monique was more so right. I feel like Brittany Renner, BIT, she would have to see me. I'm sorry, y'all, because she would have to see me. Girl, what damn, this may hurt. When I say I'm gonna beat you, it's like your mama probably should have beat. Cause girl, listen, the way you interjected yourself, that's why I say every time Chantel comes online with a statement, here's Brittany Renner with a statement. So much so, Chantel's having a conversation with Takari, and you feel the need to jump in. Have you not jumped into enough family beefs? You need to be somewhere being the best mother you can be to the child that you have and deciding on whether you want to work on the relationship with your mother or be done with her as a whole. You have so many other things to worry about. You need to be focused on getting out of this religion that you only joined to be a bottom BIT for Kevin Gates, who didn't even want you about 3 months into the quote unquote fake marriage. Girl, you got so many things. And you want to sit up here and talk about somebody's mothering when you're still making poor decisions as a mom? You're joining religions for an NIGGA? And then now you ain't got the NIGGA no more. You want to come to us with a video of you stripping off your hijab and all of this other stuff as if you're not defined? Are you sure? Because I could have sworn that it was defining the fuck out of you. So Brittany Renner can tell me a fuck thing about being a mom, and I don't give a fuck about her tears and what she has going on with her own mama. Okay? Because one thing Evelyn said that I do agree with is the fact that sometimes, y'all, you do have to be okay with not getting that apology. You do have to continue to press forward. You do have to let it be what it is. And it's very unfortunate. It is going to hurt. That's why you go and you get the healing, right? You take your time, you get your healing, you do what you're supposed to do. It's going to hurt. But as a mom, we don't really get a chance to slow down. We got to continue to go on and make sure that we have and create as much of a positive space for our children as we possibly can. But you're going to need those tools, in my personal, to make sure you don't show up to your children how your mother showed up with you. Okay? I don't want to hear nobody talking about no breaking generational curses and breaking this and breaking that if you ain't do the work. If you ain't do the work. Okay? That's just how I feel about that. You over here running up behind a man when you could be running up over here. And she might see her son. She might be with her son. And that's just something that we don't see. I don't know. But I tell you what speaks louder than that. You running up behind that man. Okay. Oh, I can't stand that woman. But listen, I did a lot of talking. I'm sure y'all gonna do a lot of talking in the comments too. I'm not here to agree with really none of y'all. I'm here to give you my opinion, give you my viewpoints on how I see the situation. If we agree, great. If we don't, that's awesome too. And that's just that on that. But I also wanted to be sure to add additional context versus just watching that one clip and people riding off with that because of the history they know of Jackie being a toxic parent. That is a parent. We're aware of that. However, there was more that took place. So that's all that I have at this time. Of course, you guys know me to be a Jami, that's me. Oh, before I get out of here, let me go ahead and get into the super chats real quick. Sorry, you guys. Thank you so much for the super chat, Wendy. And didn't Jackie say she and Chantel lived in the same complex at the first episode of the show? Chantel had a battery in her back. All right. I feel like part of that battery could have been a little bit of Britt Renner trying so hard to resonate with Chantel on her experience with her mom, you know? So I do feel like Chantel should have had the conversation with her mama before having it with anybody else and continuing to have it with other people. Like, I don't know. But yeah, thank you for the super chat. Don, thank you so much for the super chat. Enjoying your commentary and perspective. I thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see. S Door, what's going on? Thank you so much for the super chat. Chantel's feelings may be valid, and Jackie may be a bad mother, but she handled wrong. You a new hire at your mom's job and asking coworkers to pick a side. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And yeah, I have to agree. It started getting real weird towards the end, like having people pick a side. No, you could have picked the opportunity to not come on a show, especially this one. With your mama being there, knowing how your mama piss you off, how she does certain things, you see how she shows up on the show, you know, it probably was bound to happen to where y'all were going to have some friction. But everybody's different. However, I just don't, if I just got my relationship on track with my mama, I'm likely not going to go back I'm not going to go on her show. Or I'll say this, because I don't want to restrict her from the show solely, but I would show up as Shanice did. I wouldn't be a main cast member to where people will be able to use my family situation as a storyline and therefore continue to fracture the relationship that we may have been trying to work on, because it did appear that they were good before filming. For me, would have just showed up in a limited capacity as she has in previous seasons. But that's just what I think. All right. But I thank you guys so much for being here. All right. Definitely like up the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you've yet to subscribe. You can find me over on social media at JamiThatsMe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand on my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF. Got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invade the gym. High elevator.